This is Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth, welcoming a first-timer to the program. He is a father, he's a poet, a writer, and just an advocate for family and keeping it together. And he reached out to me via email saying that he likes what I do on this program and he wanted to come on. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Avery Washington. Good morning, man.
Good morning, Mr. KG. Thank you for having me.
Man, thank you for being here. I think what you want to talk about is always timely because family is important. Our daughters are very important because with, the way the world is today with social media and these images that they see that, they're supposed to be, this way because social media and society says this and TV says that. And you're here to debunk all of that. Actually, you wrote a book about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Called Letters to My Daughters, which is an Amazon #1 bestseller. So let me add that to the credentials. He is a best-selling author, ladies and gentlemen. So, Avery, man, just tell us a little bit about yourself real quick.
Okay, I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. I moved out here in 1990, went to Texas Southern University, ended up meeting a beautiful queen, got married with 3 beautiful children, and now I'm here today.
Yeah, doing your thing. When did you, have you always been a poem writer? Have you always been into poetry?
I started writing in 2008.
Okay.
And my testimony is similar to a lot of people's testimonies when you're sitting in church. I was sitting in church one day and the preacher was talking about the gifts that we have that we're not sharing with others. And he started speaking of student loans. He was saying when we get student loans from the government, if we don't pay it back, the government takes it back. He said, so maybe God needs to start taking back these blessings that we're not sharing with others.
That's a word.
So I was like, hey, he must be talking to me. It was football season. The Steelers were playing. But another voice, I'm an only child, so I was real shy, like an introvert. So another voice was saying, hey, you need to go out to the Poetry Lounge on 213 Milam with Seven the Poet back in the day.
What's up, Seven?
Yeah, what's up, Seven? Seven gave me my start. I went straight from church, went to the Shadow Bar on 213 Milam and did my thing. And I spoke of family because I'm a family man. And when I spoke of family and did my bit, Seven and bar none was like, say, man, keep what you're doing. And I'll never forget.
Yeah, that is dope. So the book, Letters to My Daughter, Poetic Affirmations of Love from a Father. What was the inspiration behind you wanting to write this book?
Well, I'm married with 3 beautiful daughters, and I wanted to teach them to embrace the love of God and self so they wouldn't desperately seek love from man or anyone else.
Well, okay. And you touch on a lot of things in the book, which is available on Amazon. It's available everywhere.
Yes, it's available online at every major bookstore. And also, if you want autographed copies, you can order from my website, averywashington.com.
Yeah. You talk about their first love. You talk about self-love, how you are never alone, just poem after poem of affirmation, and as the subtitle so eloquently puts it, Poetic Affirmations of Love from a Father. So talk about why you wanted to write this book, Letters to
Well, initially, I wrote the book personally to my daughters, but as I shared it with women and men outside of the family, and I started doing radio interviews, adult women would shed tears and tell me that they wish they had a man in their lives to tell them the things that I was telling my daughters. And I was thinking on a small scale, just being a father, loving my daughters and trying to, teach them the right things to do. But then men also would tell me that they were using the book as a tool to build closer relationships with their daughters because every man is vocal and every man doesn't know how to love or how to show love. So me being raised by 3 generations of black women, I think it kind of helped me get in touch with women and how women feel their emotions. So it has taught me to be more considerate, more compassionate, and more loving to them.
And which I'm sure has brought a lot of love your way because everything that you said about women is so right. I say all the time, bro. I tell women all the time, publicly, privately, you all are the strongest species on this planet.
I agree 100%.
I mean, you create life with everything that your body takes you through. Being that monthly friend that shows up, and childbirth, and not to mention the emotional strain and roller coaster that us, bullheaded, pig-headed men take them through when we,
right.
In our bag and on our stuff. And I've always said that they are the strongest species. Like, you cannot tell me that God isn't a woman, because they're the strongest, man.
Right. And what I learned through this journey and speaking to a lot of women, most of the issues that they end up dealing with stem from men. Right. Either their father not being in their life, or either a bad relationship. So, I mean, women have been holding us down forever since the beginning. And it's my duty as a man to put out positive affirmations, especially since I was raised by 3 generations of women. Plus, I have a beautiful queen at home with 3 beautiful princesses, and my princesses are teaching me to be a better man every day.
Nice. We love that. You listen to Access Houston. We're talking to poet, author, father, Avery Washington, whose books, Letters to My Daughter, Poetic Affirmations of Love from a Father, is available now. And his second book, Legacy, which is the second edition to Letters to My Daughters. So let's talk about the second book, Legacy. So an extension of clearly the first book, huh?
Yes, sir. It's an extension, and I had to write a second edition because, like I said, this is a journey. Letters to My Daughters was the first book I wrote personally to my daughters, but as I did interviews, I learned that the book was much deeper, and that I knew that God was sending me on a journey to bring healing, to our communities and to the world. So Legacy basically is an edition with about 10 more profound poems dealing with self-image, politics, self-awareness, and self-love. And I added also some more quotes at the back of the book. One of the quotes that a lot of people really take heed to is, never live your life according to man's expectations. You're above the expectations of man. You're God's creation.
Can you talk about some things in your life that you have had, to overcome that got you to this point to where you are now?
Well, I never had a father in my life. Never knew him. But being raised by a great-grandmother, catching the bus, going to church with her every day, that helped me out. Having mentors, I always had male mentors in my life. I played sports, and even to this day, I have a mentor. So I always had male mentors in my life. So watching my mother wear steel-toe boots and hard hats to work, watching her sacrifice at work, but then being at every football game, every baseball game, every basketball game I had. So that's why I have a very profound love for women. Yeah.
And father-daughter vacations. I like the sound of that.
Yes. My wife and I are going to start that next year, father-daughter vacations. So we're collecting email addresses at averywashington.com. If you go to averywashington.com, you'll see a tab that says father-daughter vacations. And our first vacation will be in San Antonio. She's been looking at locations in San Antonio. Yeah. And then we'll branch out after that.
Yeah. So what does that entail? Just the father and the daughter, they go on vacation, a little extra bonding.
We're gonna have games and everything for fathers and daughters to build closer relationships and the whole nine.
I want to know what are your thoughts on how we are as a people in society right now when it comes to. I mean, like right now we're in the whole Me Too movement, which I personally feel is a white woman's thing, because black women, they, in the words of Malcolm X, the most disrespectful person in America is the black woman. Right. And when they speak out and say that things have been happening to them,
it gets ignored.
It gets totally ignored. Like, when have you ever seen a national campaign of a melanated girl on TV like this person is missing and nationwide? Like,
never.
Right. So I just want to know your thoughts on like where we are today as a people with the family unit, and how, if you're not careful, how social media and entertainment are influencing our children.
Well, my goal is, I know systemically our homes have been broken, separated, but we know that already. We can't keep repeating that cycle. So what I'm doing, I'm putting positive content out there to try to build the father and daughter relationships first, because I want these men to understand that hurt little girls become hurt adult women.
Yeah.
And what that does, that also separates us, because if you being hurt by a black man your whole childhood and your teenage years, why would she date a black man? So it's a lot deeper than what we see. So what I'm trying to do is bring those father and daughter relationships together. And then also maybe that mother and father will get together and try to make our homes complete again with the father and daughter and mother in the household and son.
Yeah. It's funny that you said that, because it is systemic. You saying that just made me think of, for instance, women on Section 8.
Right.
You know, women are restricted. They cannot have a man in the house.
That's the rule.
You cannot have a man in the house if you are a single parent and he can't be there. You won't be able to get your food stamps or whatever it is that you may need. And when I thought about that, I was like, just how messed up is that? How messed up is that? Everybody has different situations in their lives, and you know, whatever this woman's story was and how she became to be and in the situation that she is now. And she has a male that is there to help her, but you know, he can't get a job or whatever his struggle may be. They trying to do the right things.
Right.
And so they doing that, and then, you know, you find out, all right, baby, I got a spot, Section 8, it's over here, but I can't have you over. You can't stay here. Like, just the deliberate separation and breaking up of the family unit is beyond me. I mean, and it really hurt my heart that we're still doing this to this day, like with the Trump administration, you know, separating them kids at the border from their family who were coming here to seek asylum.
Right.
And so, like, that is so messed up, like the destruction of the family, because they know that that's where it starts.
You're correct. And you were talking about social media, and I'm disappointed with us as a people, because I see so many negative things retweeted and reposted, and we're doing it, and it's about us. So we have a lot of great fathers out there. So what I did, I started a hashtag Letters to My Daughters campaign on Instagram, where fathers and daughters are tagging photos of themselves for a chance to win an autographed copy of Letters to My Daughters. And I'm doing that to advocate the significance of father-daughter relationships. And I've had men inbox me and say, hey, Avery, I like what you're doing. You know, you made me reevaluate my relationship with my daughter. And, you know, it's taken off. And if anybody is a father with daughters out there, please, even daughters, you can tag Author Avery Washington with the hashtag Letters to My Daughters with your father-daughter pictures, and have a chance to win a copy of Letters to My Daughters. Yeah,
it's a great book full of many poems, an anthology of poems, if you will, and Letters to My Daughters. So on Instagram, hashtag Letters to My Daughters, at Author Avery Washington, to get that signed copy in the book. And then you're working on a new book. You got a new book that's coming out.
Yes. I'm working on a new book. It's called A Love Letter to Our Beautiful Black Women. And the reason why I'm writing that book is because, as I spoke to a lot of women felt rejected by black men. So I wanted to write something to show them that we do love them. We do respect them. That's not true in all cases.
And we look for that.
We do desire them. That'll be out during Christmas of 2018.
Okay. So we gonna look out for that, man. And I would love to have you come back on the program anytime, and even to be, you know, maybe a part of our roundtable discussion that we have on the second half of the show.
Yes, sir.
So, go follow my man at Author Avery Washington on Instagram. The Instagram campaign is hashtag Letters to My Daughters. Take a photo of you and your daughters, and you can have a chance to win his book, Letters to My Daughter, Poetic Affirmations of Love from a Father. Man, Avery, I'm so glad you came through, bro.
I appreciate you, KG, and I really love what you're doing. I love the way you use your platform to uplift our community.
Well, thank you so much, G. And I love what you're doing, sending letters and words of affirmations to our daughters because our young girls, they need it. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth, on the phone line all the way from Los Angeles, California. She is a beauty expert, a celebrity hairstylist, a philanthropist, and her new book, Diamonds and Curls, 29 Years with Rock Royalty Prince, is slated to come out in 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kim Berry of Glam Jam. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it is my pleasure. So tell us a little bit about you. You've been doing celebrity hair. You're the best kept secret out there in Hollywood, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been a stylist for about 30 years now, 29 of which I was on the road with Prince and serving alongside him as his personal hairstylist and confidant. He hired me when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
And I stayed in the background and, served him as if I was serving God himself. And we built a relationship that went further than just a hairstylist to client relationship. We became family.
Yeah. And so I'm sure we don't even need to relive that. I don't even want to touch on that because I know that was a time for you.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure you're probably still dealing with it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a serious transition. Every time I think I'm over it, the tears come back again, whenever I dwell on him too long. But it was a fantastic time. I mean, if you can imagine a little girl, I call myself a little girl from the hood, did good, and landed one of the biggest, one of our most iconic artists in the industry to date.
Yes.
And so your first time out to get someone that big, my friend was his hairstylist before I came on board, and she had been with him like 7 years. And just, hanging around her and watching her and what she was doing and watching her hairsprays and her oil scenes and her gels. And, my dad used to tell me as a kid, he said, that success is opportunity. When opportunity meets preparedness,
yes,
will you be prepared? And he drilled that in our head as children, me and my 5 brothers. And it was just amazing that when the opportunity presented itself, that I was actually prepared and ready to step into, her shoes. And I remember her telling me, Kim, it's not what you think. And I'm like, I think you work for the biggest entertainer in the world. And she was like, no, it's long hours, you miss your family, you miss out on a lot of things.
Right.
I was like, but you work for the biggest entertainer in the world, and, so, but at her point, like she had been with him, I think 7 years, and she just said she was tired and she was ready to go home. So it has to be something that you want to do, that you long to do. You have to have a longing for that type of.
Yeah.
It
sounds like it sounds like radio in the entertainment business. I always tell these kids that's looking into getting into radio or whatever. I was like, first of all, you got to love it, because if you don't love it, you won't like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I tell all my up and coming, stars, celebrity stylists, I tell them all the time that when you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life.
That's right.
Yep. and it's, you have to love it, and it has to be something that you want to do, or else, because people are like, how did you stay so long? And I just tell people, I know that it was the God in me that saw the God in him, and he needed that around him. But not to mention that, but you have to love what you do, and you have to want to be there. You have to want to be in that environment and in that atmosphere. So it worked out just fine for my life.
Indeed. You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Kim Berry as Purple Love United presents Kim Berry Glam Jam. Kim is no stranger to giving back to her community. This is what she does. On the side, she's organized community awareness events around HIV and mammogram testing, sponsored food and clothing drives for the homeless, just welfare to work makeovers, just all type of stuff. Kim, why and how did your passion to give back and serve the community come about?
Well, one of the main things was, like I said, just being around people who are doing what you're doing, like-minded people. Every pastor that I've ever served along, underneath, was always about community service and giving back. Knowing that we are vessels sent here by God to serve mankind. So it was no, strange feat that Prince was this very vessel. He knew that he was sent here by God to bring music to the world, and not only bring music to the world, but the parts that people don't know about, that behind closed doors that he gave to urban farming and coding, for children. He was always asking me, Kim, what can we do to better serve our communities? What can we do to make our neighborhoods better? What can we do? He was always inquisitive about what can he do to give back, and he gave Prince. I don't know if a lot of people know that Prince was one of the first, investors in Black Lives Matter. And he literally gave that woman a check and told her, go change the world. You know what I'm saying? And so everything that he did, but he told people, don't tell anyone anything about me. Do it because of the love of God.
When you say that, it reminds me of Van Jones on CNN talking about Prince and him telling us all of the things like what you just named and some, and that I was just, floored. Like, you got a solar panel in your home, and Prince is the reason why you got that solar panel, and you don't even know it.
Absolutely. Yeah, he didn't play. He was serious about giving back to his community. He was serious. Like, we would be on the tour bus, and he would just hand us stacks of money, and he would see homeless people on the side of the street. We would get off the bus and literally hand $100 bills to everyone that was laying on the streets, and it was always because he said that it was never about him. It was always about God. That, he knew that he was sent here to change the world, and he did just that in his, short time here on earth. He lived a fabulous life and did what God told him to do. I said that was, I know that when he got to the gates of heaven, he would be able to say, I left everything that you gave me, God, right there on the stage, and I did what you told me to do for the people.
Oh, yeah.
It was an amazing journey to walk alongside that man, and I wouldn't trade nothing for my journey. It was an amazing experience.
I'm sure he got a good well done when he got up there.
Absolutely.
You're listening to Access Houston, talking to Kim Berry. Purple Love United presents Kim Berry Glam Jam. That is happening this Friday, October the 19th at Planet Curls. And you have teamed up with Dress for Success Houston. Tell us about the event and why you wanted to team up with Dress for Success.
Dress for Success is just like an extension of what I'm already working with here in Los Angeles, the Welfare to Work program. Are women who are trying to get back into the workforce. They give them clothing. This Friday, we're going to be doing free makeovers. We're going to do hair. We're going to do makeup. And it's just going to be, we're blessed to be a blessing. And I'm just honored to partner alongside with Dress for Success to be the hands that will be able to bless these women and give back. And it's something about what I love about doing hair is when a woman gets her hair done, it's like painting on a blank canvas. And their shoulders go back and they stand up straighter when they know that they look good and they can represent themselves in the community. And so this was a no-brainer that when it was presented to me, absolutely I was going to be a part of it because that's what Prince was a part of. Everything was about giving back. What can we do to make our fellow man better? What can we do to love on one another to make our community stronger so that we can present ourselves as a better, a better people. And so I was just excited to be a part of everything that that's coming, alongside, because we're going to continue the legacy that Prince has already set forth. And he was about philanthropy, and I'm going to make sure that I do everything in my power to continue the legacy and give back as, with what's all within my power.
Oh, this is an amazing thing. So save the date, Houston, for Friday, October the 19th at Planet Curls. That's 6518 North Main Street here in Houston. I see that you're going to have a good buddy of mine, Miss Kim Roxy, the founder of Lamique Cosmetics. She'll be there applying makeup. Yeah, when I've had a few television appearances and she would be in the makeup room, she would beat my face down for the no shine, give me a nice little a nice little contour on the nose to make me look.
Right.
Kim would get me right together. So you got a real one right there. What is it that
Absolutely.
you are? What is it that you are hoping that the people who attend, the women who attend, will walk away from Glam Jam?
Just knowing that they're loved, knowing that that God is real and He has not forgotten about them, and I'm just, like I said, just excited to be able to share with my sisters and share the beauty experience and share different tips and beauty advice with them, so they'll walk away stronger, more empowered, and each one teach one. And as I give to them, that they'll be able to give, into the lives of another young woman or another woman of the same, caliber, that, because we're not looking for a handout. We're just looking for a hand up,
Yeah.
and so that we can get back on the right road to success. So I'm just excited, like I said, and just being a part of it, and just, I just love being a blessing to other people, and if it's within my power, I'm going to give until my last breath, the same way Prince did.
Oh, man, I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Kim Berry, better known as Kim B out there in Hollywood. The Glam Jam is happening this Friday from 1 until 5 at Planet Curls, 6518 North Main Street here in Houston. Kim, of course, will be there providing hairstyles for Dress for Success models. Our very own Kim Roxy, the founder of Lamique Cosmetics, she'll be there and talking about her experience. And then, of course, they are helping out the great people over at Dress for Success Houston. So this is amazing. This is amazing, Kim. So thank you for calling in. Thank you for your time.
And don't forget about the book. Don't forget about the book.
Oh yeah. And your book, Diamonds and Curls, 29 years with rock royalty Prince. What quarter should we be looking at? I see it says slated for 2019. So we looking early.
Yes,
we looking
January 2019. So we're gonna pre-sales will probably start around December. You can always go to my website, www.diamonds, the letter N, curls, CURLZ, diamondsandcurls.com, and you can keep up with all things Kim Berry. You'll see I'm there on Facebook, Diamonds and Curls page on Facebook, or you can find me at Kim B on Set, www.kimbonset, the letter B, ONSET, KimBonset.com, and you'll be able to keep up with all things Kim B. So you'll be able to see the product line that's coming, Prince Inspired product line that's coming down the pipes, as well as the book, as well as the extension line. So it's going to be a fantastic voyage. 2019 is going to be a fantastic year. So be patient with me, because God is not through with me yet.
Okay, it's going down. Purple Love United, Kim Berry for Glam Jam. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston.
We'll be back with more Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.